Hello guys, I am back from another video, and today we're talking about what if Deku was in RWBY. So, in the last video we talked about how, I'm just gonna be shortening the explanation because last time, well, oh boy, let's just say the explanations were starting to become a little bit longer now. Like seriously, Jesus Christ. Anyway, continuing on. So, we're gonna be moving to maybe about the time where Izuku is finally getting reincarnated, where he meets me, aka Jack Superbia. After meeting with me, Izuku would be told that he's going to be reincarnated in a new world, and after explaining why he's being reincarnated into that world specifically, mostly because to save that world and, because of his predecessor, aka the previous god, or the god of the multiverse. So after being told of this, Izuku would also say, how is he going to save that world exactly? And after being told that he can't really use one for all in that world, and so Jack would basically grab, some random, just grabs like a random cardboard box and starts picking it. And after finding a paper, it turns out that his new powers are going to be the ability to use the three great dojutsu, or more specifically, the upgraded versions of it. Specifically, the 6 Tomoe Renegon, the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and finally, the Tenseigan. And after getting them from, let's just say borrowing them to say the least. So, after borrowing them, he would basically time warp them, not really time warp them, but more like, reality warp them, and Izuku would finally get these. And if you're wondering, no, he doesn't get a third eye on his forehead, but instead, he gets one on his hand? And let's just say he was pretty freaked out. And after, being calmed down by Jack, he would be told that he's gonna be finally, getting reincarnated. And so he would go into the large, glowing, somewhat chained door, but now opened, because it's not really that chained to the point that it's basically locked. So, after that, he would basically, go in and he would be reincarnated. So, we go to Izuku currently in a monastery, now worshipping the god or at least sort of. He knows that this world's, god is not technically the god, as in the most powerful being, which is Jack, aka moi, which, Jack, would tell him that his predecessor made him to basically act as their version of Jesus. So, after a bit of praying in the monastery, he would basically say, he's gonna get some rest. As his teacher, Kira, would basically tell him to, that it's okay for him to get some rest. After all, he's, about that type of age. And so he would basically start going to his room and would start looking at himself in the mirror, as you would think of how he actually got to this monastery. So, after going into a flashback, we go to him and his best friends, which are Nora Valkyrie and Lei Ren. And apparently they've been best friends for a while now, and they're currently living in a village in Mistral. And if you're wondering, thank God you stopped calling it, Visceral. Well, unfortunately not. I had to redo this several times, okay? So, anyway, after, one fateful day where several Grims arrived and basically started killing the people, Izuku would be faced against a Beowulf-type Grim, as the Grim would basically get ready to kill him as he would discover his semblance, the Dojutsu. More specifically, he's using the 6 Tomoe Renegon and its Diva Path, which it has the ability to basically manipulate gravity. After using it, he would basically do the almighty push, causing the Grim to basically go bye-bye like, Team Rocket. After doing that, he would see the rest of the, city basically burn down. He would start using, his chakra rods to basically distribute. God dang it, I can't say that word. Distribute water. And so after doing that, he would be weakened to the point that he's pretty much tired and would fall to somewhat exhaustion. But before he actually, can actually, fall into, into somewhat of a coma, he would see a few figures basically, talking in the distance and walking towards him. After waking up, he would realize that he's in the monastery of and would recognize the person that's in front of him. Apparently, his name is Kira, and would tell him that he's gonna be staying here from now on because his village is basically run down. And after asking him if his friends Lei Ren and also, Nora Valkyrie are there, he would tell, Izuku that he doesn't know. Maybe they're dead or something, which caused him to become really angry. And because of that, it would activate his Sharingan. Or more specifically, in its Mangekyo form. Because he's going to be getting his Eternal Mangekyo form soon. Which, if you're wondering, no, he's not going to kill a person and basically take his eyes. Sort of. Not really. He's not going to take out some random dude's eyes, and he doesn't have any siblings. So, yeah, he's going to be getting them just like the normal ass Sharingan. As in, basically, seeing a traumatic memory, or, in the future, aka in Boruto, the, extreme emotion, like for example, happiness, which if you've seen in the Boruto anime, is how, Sarada got her Sharingan to activate. Yeah, oh boy. And so, after, seeing his eyes basically change into the Sharingan, or the Mangekyo Sharingan, and his Sensegan basically still active, he would basically tell him to basically just rest for now. After all, he's probably pretty tired. And so, we basically go back to present day as Izuku's still looking at the mirror as he would decide to get some sleep. And so, he would basically fall asleep. So yeah, that is basically what happened last episode. And so, let's talk about what happens next, boys. So, we see Izuku basically packing up all of his things. As, after packing up all of his things, he would look over and would see his mentor, aka Kira. As Kira would say this. So, you really are leaving. As he would say this. Yeah, I've forgotten to tell you. I mean, it's been fun, but I need to do this by myself. We go to a little flashback. So, we currently see Izuku basically, going around the monastery as he would go up to Kira, as Kira would say this. Ah, Izuku, what is it exactly? As Izuku would say this. Well, Kira, I wanted to tell you this. I'm going to be leaving soon. After hearing this, he would say, oh, really? Huh, I thought you were going to be staying here for the rest of your life. As he would say this. Well, no, I'm going to be traveling the world. More specifically, I'm going to be going to a certain place. Here. As he would point to Vale. In a little map, as he would say this. Ah, why is that exactly? As he would say this. Well, I've been wondering if I can get some, how do I say this? I've been wanting to maybe become a hunter. And I've been wanting to basically test out my skills ever since I've been training with you guys. As he would say this. Ah, I see. Very well. I will allow you to basically leave. But someday you'll come back. And I hope to see you again. After all, you're basically like a little brother to me. As he would say that, Izuku would say this. I guess so. Anyways, I hope to see you again. Or at least soon. I'm gonna be leaving tomorrow, so... As after saying that, he would say this. Very well, Izuku. And we basically end the flashback. So, we basically see Izuku still packing all of his things, as he would say this. So, hey, Kira. As Kira would say this. Yes? As he would say this. I hope to see you again. Maybe, next time, when I become a hunter, or at least an official one. As he would say this. I guess so. Anyway, I wanted to give you this for a while now. As Izuku would say this. What is it exactly? As he would say this. Well, you have heard that us, monks here in, in the Temple of Om have this special type of event, which we call a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage. As after hearing that, he would say this. Yeah. Wait, you're saying that I'm sort of going on a pilgrimage? As he would say this. Exactly. And so, I want you to wear these. As after looking at the clothes, he would see that he has, a simple, almost similarly looking robe, but with a few modifications. Including longer sleeves and a, I guess you'd say sort of skirt. It's not really a skirt, that is more like, a I don't really know what to call it. It's basically what Momoshiki's wearing, or the other guy. I can't remember his actual name, but it's the guy with the, imagine something like Oroshiki, or at least I think that's his name. The Otsuki from that filler episode, or that filler arc. So, as Izuku was given these clothes, as he would say this, whoa, that looks pretty. As you would look over and would see a mask as well. As you would say this, what is this? As you would say this, well, that mask is supposed to ward off evil. It's a tradition when we're going on pilgrimages. As Izuku would say this, oh, cool, I guess. As you would say this, try it on. As Izuku would say this, oh, sure. As you would go into a little changing room, and after he steps out, he would look like this. So he would wear something like this, including the mask with its almost, large ass freaking horns and, cyan colored hair. And these are, the Sharingan over here, or the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And, here's the Tensegon, and finally is, his Six Tomoe Renegon, which is on his hand over here. So, after wearing the, his pilgrimage outfit, he would say this, huh, seems quite comfortable, and it seems quite combat ready, he would say, as he would start kicking around his feet, as he would not be restricted. He would even do a little bit of palm strikes, as he would create chakra-based weaponry, like for example, actually it's not really chakra-based, it's more like, it's technically more like, aura-based, as he would start creating, like, large axes to his large machete, like, weapon to small little knives, as he would create a large spear. After trying them out, he would say this, whoa, it's actually pretty good, he would say, as, he would say this, specifically, Kira. I guess so. Anyway, you should probably get going. I hope to see you again soon. My brother, he would say, as after hearing that, he would say this. Yeah, sure, brother, he would say, as he would basically grab his bags and would start leaving the monastery, or, temple, as he would say goodbye to his, friends and somewhat family, as he would start moving to go to Vale. So, a few months later, a few months have gone by as Izuku has made it to Vale. After arriving at Vale, he would see some of the sights there. Mostly some shops and some nearby, restaurants. After a while basically walking, he would decide to basically, grab a, how do I say this? Yeah, a, apartment for now. As after grabbing, his Lien, wallet, he would basically go into a, wait for a sec. He would go into a nearby apartment complex. As he would go to the landlord, as he would say this. Come in, said the landlady. As he would say this. Hello. As she would say this. Oh my god! Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were a monster. As you would say this. I get that a lot. After all, I am a practicer of the Temple of Om, after all. And I'm currently on a pilgrimage. As you would say this. I meant she. Ah, I see. I can, see why. Anyway, why are you here exactly? As you would say this. Well, my journey has finally ended, and I decided to live here. As she would say this. Ah, really? So, you're planning to live here from now on? As you would say this. Yeah. I've been wanting to become a hunter for a while now, so I'm gonna be staying here in, I meant Vale for now. As she would say this. Ah, I see. Well then, do you want a room exactly? As he would say this. Yes, I would want a room. As she would say this. Very well then. How much Lien? As he would say this. Well, as he would basically bring up about, 50,000 Lien. As she would say, whoa, that's a lot. Are you sure? As you would say this. Yes, I want to live here. Do you have any spare rooms by any chance? As she would say this. Well, I do have a room over there, and it's actually pretty good, so don't worry about it. And it would probably, by how much lien that you gave me, you'll probably be living there for yeah, 2 years at least. Jeez, you didn't really need to give me that a lot, she would say, whispering, as Izuku would say this. Well, I guess you can say I'm charitable, I guess you can say. After saying that, he would start leaving to go to his room, which is room 67. Unfortunately, I won't be making it 69 because that would be freaking obvious, or 420. Anyway, after going to his room, he would basically open the door as you would see his room. It looks pretty nice, pretty normal, pretty sizable, as he would see a large, simple TV, flat screen, and a few commodities, as he would basically place down his bag as he would bring up his scroll, which is basically their world's version of a phone. After grabbing his scroll, he would basically look at the news. Apparently, the news was pretty much normal, mostly about, some stupid things, like, for example, simple robberies, things of that sort, but something caught his eye. Apparently, White Fang has been doing a lot of bad things. And if you don't know what's White Fang, well, White Fang is basically, just imagine Black Lives Matter, but a little bit more violent. Apparently, it's becoming a little bit more violent after some years ago. Apparently, many of the fondnesses that were trying to, stop the inequality that's been happening because of their, race, well, let's just say they decided to turn violent and started, taking down a lot of people that were pretty much mean to them. Not including, some, groups, let's just say that. But their most recent target was the Schnee Dust Company, which he heard about a few years ago and even bought some of their products, even though he knows about their horrible business practices, like, for example, getting, enslaved, fondnesses, but he doesn't really want to cause conflict for himself. But after hearing that, that these fondnesses, these violent ones to be more precise, are basically taking it down, well, he was sort of happy about it. After doing that, he would basically grab some of the dust, some of the dust canisters that he got and would start infusing them with his, aura-based weaponry. He's been able to do that for a while now, like for example, infusing one of his, axes with a bit of fire dust, or for another example, infusing, air dust with his, knives to make them a little bit more faster. Similar to, infusing chakra with, with weaponry in Naruto, like for example, enhancing it with, electric chakra, or, lightning chakra in this case, to basically much more terrifying in battlefields, like for example, making it sharper and much more deadlier. Yeah, let's just say it's quite deadly for him to use those type of weaponry. So, after a while of doing that, he would also start, meditating. He would basically go into a lotus position as he would start, doing some training, in this case, aura cultivation. Which you can probably know by the name, he's basically cultivating, aura in the surrounding area, similar to, senjutsu, which he learned thanks to the help of Jack. Apparently in this world, there's no chakra, which he learned a few years ago, and would decide to basically, give him a similar type of thing to, how senjutsu works, where he's basically able to take the natural chakra, or in this case, aura, from the, surrounding area and basically placing it into his body, where he's able to use Tensegon, Sage Mode, where he's basically able to, use truth-seeking balls, just like Toneri in the anime, or in this case the movie, because he was never in the anime at all. So, just imagine him where he's able to transform himself into a sage, similar to Toneri, but except, instead of being, colored blue, instead he's somewhat, a darker shade of blue. Darker shade of blue. Like, a baby blue than this almost, cyan-ish color. I don't really know what to call it, actually. Anyway, as Izuku's basically, wearing this type of, wear, he would, still be, training in this, aura cultivation, as a few minutes later, he would basically stop, as you would say this. I should probably get eating now. And I should probably get some dust now. I've been getting a lot of dust a lot, but it's recently starting to, how do I say this? Starting to run out recently thanks to the help of this organization. Or at least I think so. Apparently there's been a lot of talk about, people stealing, a lot of dust. And I think I know who it is, but it's just a hunch. He would say, like to himself, as he would decide to leave to basically, get dinner. So, while he's going across the town, wait for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on, he would start moving towards, a little like shop where there's a few, pastries and some savory types of dishes. After going inside, a few of the people would start looking at him, as one of them would basically point at him saying, "Wait, you're a..." as he would say this, "Yes. If you're wondering, no, I'm not a monster, and no, I'm just wearing this mask because I'm a pilgrimer from, from the Temple of Om." As all of the people would basically just sigh in relief, thinking that it was some sort of new Grim, as the guy would say this. "Whoa, can I have an autograph?" Not really an autograph, I meant, "Can I have a photo?" As he would say this. Sure. I guess you can, As he would start taking photos of him, like, instantly, like, it started to become like a photo shoot, as he would say this. Slow down, please," he would say. Wait for a second. Whoa, slow down, please. As he would say this. Sorry, I'm just pretty excited because I'm sort of a, how do we say this? A historical fanatic. Sort of. Haha. As after hearing that, Izuku would say this. "Oh, I can sort of understand. I mean, I can probably see why you're pretty excited to see a person like me. After all, we barely get out of our, get out of our lands. Or sort of," he would say. As he would say this. Anyway, what are you here in, not Visceral, I meant, Vale. As he would say this. "Well, I'm here because I want to become a hunter." After hearing this, he would say this. "Oh, you're wanting to become a hunter? Then, actually, did you go to a hunter school by any chance?" As he would say this. "Well, sort of. I've been learning from my mentor," he would say. As he would say this. "Oh, cool. Anyway, what are you here exactly?" As he would say this. "I'm just gonna eat dinner. Is that obvious?" As you would say this. "Oh, I'm really sorry. Anyway, you can continue on or whatever." As after encountering that guy, a few of the people would start looking at him a bit weirdly. As after sighing, he would basically start eating. He would grab, a bit of food, mostly, Mistral-based food, like, for example, their version of kontatsu, which, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not as good as his mother's. And he would also grab some cookies, which are surprisingly pretty good, like, really good, in fact. As after, grabbing a few cookies and basically leaving the, his lien behind, basically, giving to them, basically on the table, he would basically start to leave. After leaving, he would start walking around the city to basically, walk off his meal. Even though you're probably gonna get, appendicitis by that, but either way, this is just, for plot reasons. After a while of walking, he would look over and would see some sort of shop. It would say, "Dusk Till Dawn." As Izuku would say this. Huh, not bad of a pun. But as he would start looking at his, his dust reserves, as he would say this. "Yeah, I should probably get some more dust." After walking into the dust shop, he would say this. Sorry, what the heck are you? Are you a robber?" As he would say this. "Oh, no. I'm just a traveler from, from the Temple of Om." As he would say this. "Oh, sorry. I never saw a person like you before. Anyway, I'm the, the shopkeeper here. And, by the way, what are you looking for?" As he would say this. "Oh, I'm just been looking for some simple dust." As he would say this. Over there. You can get some dust over there for now." As he would say this. "Well, thank you." After saying that, he would start grabbing a few dust crystals, mostly energy, electric, or, lightning, and maybe some earth and also some, simple fire dust. And maybe some gravity dust, which he found, pretty interesting. It's basically like his, his Deva Vast gravity manipulation, but not as strong. So he decided to, add that to his, repertoire of dust. But while he was basically doing that, he would start to hear the sound of fighting. Not really fighting, but more like the sound of, the sound of arguing. As he would look over and would recognize the face. The face of the leader. He seems to have a bowler hat and a white suit, almost like a gentlemanly type vibe to him. He also seems to be wielding a cane and seems to almost, let's just say, threaten the guy. As you would say this, I'm here just to get some dust. That's all. As the shopkeeper would say this, dust? You don't want Lien? As he would say this, no, I just want dust. Nothing more, nothing less. And if you don't want it, then he would say, as he'd point his cane like a gun, as he'd say, then I'll blow you up to smithereens, he would say. As he would say this, sure. After saying that, he would start, grabbing some dust, as a few of his henchmen would start moving around. As one of them would say this, hey, you! As he would say this, As after looking at him, he would say, oh my god, oh. Jesus Christ, what the heck is that mask? As he would say this. Well, I'm a worshipper of Om, well, more specifically, as he would say this. Alright, shut up about that. Anyway, I just need your dust. And if you don't, I'll just have to kill you. As he would say this. Fine, very well, he would say, as he would start grabbing his dust, as while he was about to give the dust to the man, he would hear the sound of a person basically crashing through a window, as a girl with a hood would appear, as she would basically punch the guy right across the face and causing him to basically, fly off the window as well. As after seeing that, the man with the, with the orange hair would say this. What the heck? What did you do? As, the girl would say this. Well, that guy threatened me, so, as she would unsheath her weapon, which seems to be a giant scythe. As Izuku would think in his mind, well, that's certainly a weapon. After saying that, he would look towards the man, which he would say, hello there, Mr. Torchwick. Or should I say Roman Torchwick, he would say, as he would basically see, the girl basically running towards, outside, seeing the guys basically running away. As Izuku would follow them. As Izuku would say this, alright, guess I'll just help her out then. He would say, as he would basically look out at the few people there. Specifically the henchmen, as they would say this. Sorry, little girl, but you're not going to win this. As she would say this. But unfortunately, this little girl is going to be beating you up. Got it, she would say, as she would charge towards them with her, scythe and would start slashing them, but not killing them, as she was leaving a trail of petals, almost like she's fast. As you think, in his mind, well, I think it's probably her semblance. Some sort of semblance that's based off speed. And it's quite stylish, in fact, he would say. As he would see another henchman charging towards him, as he would say, alright, time to take yours then! As he would start charging towards him, getting ready to steal his, dust, as Izuku would say this. Sorry, but that won't be happening. As he would open up his sleeve, as he would show off his 6 Tomoe Renegon, as he would say this. Let's do this. A sure path. After saying that, he would start ripping off his own arm, as it would somewhat resemble some sort of like mechanical type thing. Just imagine how the, one of the 6 paths of pain, specifically the Ashura path, would rip off his own arm as missiles would appear. As after seeing that, the guy would say, what the? As he would start shooting off, these several missiles nearby, as it would explode onto his face. As the guy would basically jump away, as the girl would notice this, saying, whoa, that's awesome, she would say, as she would run up to him saying, hey, what's your power, and what is your, semblance, and what is your weapons, as she would basically say, as Izuku would say this, whoa, calm down, girl, calm down, girl, as she would say this, oh, sorry about that, I'm sort of interested in powers like yours, and also some, some of your weapons, she would say, as Izuku would start to think, why does she sound like me back in the day? As, before he can say anything else, he would see Roman Torchwick basically running away with the rest of his henchmen. As Izuku would say this. Hey, as she would say this. Oh, forgot to tell you my name. The name's Ruby. Ruby Rose. As Izuku would say this. The name's Izuku. Izuku Midoriya. As she would say this. By the way, what's with the mask? As Izuku would say this. No time to explain, but we should probably follow the guy. I mean, he's pretty much an international criminal right now. As she would say this. Oh, right. And so they would start following, Roman Torchwick. With his, with his Deva path, he's basically able to fly, which is pretty easy for him, as RWBY was following him, which she was pretty impressed seeing him able to fly, saying, I wonder what's his semblance. But either way, they would arrive at the roof as they would see Roman Torchwick basically, getting ready to, to get away, as he would say this. Sorry, but it's the end of the line, Rose. End of the line, Little Red. And also you, Mr. Gray, he would say, Mr. Gray? He would think in his mind, not really costume, I meant wait for a second. My outfit sort of looks gray, but still, as he would say this. But unfortunately, I'm gonna be ending this little show of ours. After saying that, he would basically tap on his, on his cane as he would activate a little scope as he would throw a fire dust towards their feet. As Izuku would say this, hold on, as Izuku would say, Kamui! After saying that, he would teleport away as he would fire at the, at the fire dust as it explodes. As when it exploded, he would say, where did he go? As they reappear out of nowhere in a swirl of some sort of thing. It resembles, how, Obito was able to do that in the anime. As he would say this. Well, that was a close one. As she would say this. Whoa, how did you do that? As Izuku would say this. Oh, it's a part of my semblance. But either way, we should probably focus on the guy. As he would say this. Sorry, but... bye! As he would say, as you would start getting on a bullhead. He would say this. Sorry, but I'm gonna be leaving now. So hope to see you again. Or never, he would say, as Izuku would say this. Oh no, you don't. He would start doing hand signs as he would basically put his hand on the ground as you'd say, Summoning Jutsu, Animal Path. After saying that, a large bird would appear as the large bird would start blocking the, blocking the escape route of, of Roman Torchwick, as he would say, what the? As you would basically look at the large bird, which seems to have a large-ass beak, or deformed-ass beak to be more specific, because it's definitely not a normal-ass beak, as it would also have the Renegon-like eyes and a few piercings on its body, as it would start scratching at the bullhead, as he would say, what the hell is this? As Izuku would say this. Well, that was easy. As she would say, you're quite overpowered, Izuku. As Izuku would say this. I get that a lot. But before they can say anything else, they would see a woman and, they would see a woman jump out of nowhere, basically in front of them. She seems to be wearing a simple white blouse and, some sort of teacher's attire, sort of. She also seems to be wearing some sort of purple cape and also seems to have, some black stockings with some black boots, and her hair and eyes are also pretty prominent. She has blonde hair and greenish eyes. She would also be wielding a riding crop, as she would say this. You're not escaping now, Torchwick, she would say, as the bullhead would start becoming a little bit glowing, almost in an outline of, purple, as in front of her was some sort of weird-looking symbol, or more specifically, a glyph. As Izuku would say this, I'm guessing she's a huntress, he would say, as she would say this, specifically RWBY. A huntress? She would say with a bit of, a bit of relief in her mind, or at least in her voice, as she would start pulling the bullhead towards the, towards the building where they currently are. As Torchwick would say this, hey, get out of here! As after saying that, a person would basically come out of the, little, doors of the bullhead, as this woman seems to be covered in shadow, obscuring her appearance, as she would start firing a blast of fire, which, sort of surprised Izuku, as Izuku would say this, oh no you don't. After saying that, he would say, come forth, Naraka Path! After saying that, the King of Hell would appear, as it would eat off the fireballs. I know it doesn't do that, but let's just say it does. As after seeing that, he would basically say this, now, Kamui! After saying that, he would basically start, throwing, a few energy-based kunai at a portal, more specifically the Kamui type portal that, Kakashi used. as he would throw them towards the bullhead, cutting up the girl, as the girl would say this, with an angry voice. "Why you?" she would say, as she would snap her fingers as more fire would basically appear. As the fire would appear and would explode across the area, as it would disturb the concentration of the blonde-haired woman. As after doing that, they would finally escape. And as for summon animal that Izuku created with his, animal path, it would poof out of existence. After doing that, Izuku would say this. "Ah, shit," he would say, as she would say this, specifically Ruby. "Hey, Izuku, are you okay?" As Izuku would say this. Sort of," he would say, as the Huntress would say this. "I need you to come to the police station immediately." As Izuku would say this. "Sure thing, ma'am," he would say, as Ruby would say this. "Can I have your autograph?" As she would sort of have an angry, look in her eyes, as, she would basically meep a little bit. And so, both of them, not really both of them, but more like all three of them, would start moving towards the police station because of their actions this day. And because of that, we're gonna be leaving off this episode in a cliffhanger. So yeah, sorry about that. So, I'm gonna be ending this episode right off here. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.